How are we doing today, guys? We're back with MILSIM Direct. We're going to be doing a review today on some new Airsoft product lines we're carrying. The Jing Gong Works, or JG Works, MP5K A1 model, and the MP5K PDW model. There's going to be a few differences between the two of them. We're going to be going through a box review so you get an idea of what's included with the package when you buy it from us. And we're going to be going over the quality so you guys can see that these are high-grade AEGs and what they're capable of doing. We'll also be doing a little bit of a shooting video at the end. Feel free to jump ahead if you want to just go right to that. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so we are doing the review, the unboxing review of the Jing Gong Works, or JG Works Airsoft MP5K A1 Airsoft AEG. Alright, so without further ado, let's dive into this. As you can see, the retail packaging is actually very nice, which is something I always appreciate for manufacturers when they have very nice retail packaging. Has some initial protection there. Very nice foam fit box. Instruction manual. Looks like your generic safety warnings. It's a disassembly, battery installation, fire control group, muzzle brake, firing modes, hop-up system, and then general maintenance. And there is actually a parts list in the back here with part numbers, which is extremely helpful for those that may have a damaged gun or part after extended use and they need to get a replacement. They can just order a specific part rather than scrapping the whole gun, which is definitely a benefit. Again, this is a high-grade AEG. Got some paper targets there. We'll start with the small stuff first. So we got 200 20-gram BBs, 0.20 charger, and a lithium-ion rechargeable stick battery. And the manufacturer rated this as 1100 milliamps. Alright, here we have the actual gun. I believe, yes, there is actually a cleaning rod underneath this as well. Yep, there's your cleaning rod. Alright, so the actual gun itself, very heavy duty. Right out of the box, I believe this is weighed in at 4 pounds and 13 ounces, and the PDW version, which is the one with the collapsible folding stock, has a little bit longer of a barrel and the stock. That's really the only two differences between these two models. But for this model, it was 4 pounds 13 ounces, and the PDW was 5 pounds 5 ounces, if I'm not mistaken. Your fire control group is polymer, standard HK style. You have your safe, semi, and full auto settings. This entire receiver is all metal. And underneath this polymer grip and cover, there is a fuse located here. There's instructions in the instruction manual to show you how to get to that. This is a mock charging handle. You have a standard H&K magazine release. This is a 100-round metal high-capacity magazine. There's your access point. Now, the nice thing about this model, which I will say not all have, is they have standard paddle release here, but you can see on this side, they also have a push-button release for the magazine, which is beneficial. It's a nice feature to have. A lot of guns, like the American Set Me, have a push button and not a paddle. This has both, which is a nice feature. So you can utilize that to remove the magazine as well. So overall, the build quality is very impressive. All metal gearbox inside. And you would access, you could take this apart. These two pins are both push pins. This would remove this piece here with the sling swivel on it to give you access to the battery compartment. The battery is actually stored in the upper assembly here. And this push pin is not a push pin, it's actually threaded on the opposite side. You would actually unscrew this here. And that is to allow you to access the primary components of the gun as well as the fire control group. So what we're going to do is we are going to open a battery access, but that's as far as we're going to be going in a disassembly. So to access the battery, you would remove the first pin and utilize that first pin to push out the second pin, which is flush. Remove that cap on the end, which is also metal. And you would have access to the rear of the marker to be able to install your battery. I'm sorry, marker. I'm at an airsoft gun. So your battery. This actually sits farther down. Right there. And the end cap. Alright, so we got that rear end cap back in place. I had to stop the video there, use two hands. Just push the plug farther down, reinsert your pins, and you're ready to go. Now, definitely something to note about this model is the battery does show through this slot here. You are going to see that when the battery is inside the gun, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because you'll be able to tell whether or not the battery is inside the gun or not. That's pretty much the extent of the coverage of that. Your rear sight is standard HK style. You can select between the different sight options that you want to use. And your standard H&K front sight. Overall, solid little gun. I believe the rate of fire is up to 850 rounds a minute, depending on obviously your BB size, weight, and your battery power. Alright guys, we're going to start shooting this. I got the whole magazine loaded up, and we're going to be shooting the Lancer Tactical Extreme Precision 20 gram BBs. Locked in place. We'll start with semi first. And go to full auto. Good stuff. Alright guys, so there you have it. This little gun is actually quite impressive. The velocity that they're rating these at are 310 feet per second, 12 gram, and I believe 280 feet per second with 20 grams. We went through about 100 rounds, almost 100 rounds. There's still a couple left in the magazine. Overall, the quality is very good. I highly recommend this AEG. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and be sure to like and subscribe. Alright guys, so we reviewed the MP5K and we just wanted to touch base a little bit on the differences between the MP5K A1, which is this model, and the MP5K PDW, which is the upper one here. The differences between the two and also the similarities. So the MP5K A1 and PDW are nearly identical statistically speaking. The rate of fire, the type of battery it uses, the feet per second is all the same. That doesn't change. The PDW has a slightly longer barrel, by I mean ever so slight, because it has an actual muzzle brake system. Now this tip here is actually just a cover. It comes with it. You have this muzzle brake, which you would release this lever, and then you can rotate this brake off. Okay, so you can see the difference is this little bit compared to that not being there in the MP5K A1. So this is actually a thread protector. It actually threads off and allows you to be able to put on a mock silencer or barrel extension if you're going to be, rather than using an MP5K A1, which is more of a secondary than a primary, you could use this MP5K PDW as your primary, maybe add a longer barrel onto that. So that is definitely one option which they provided with this airsoft gun, which is good. It's not. It's actually it's a plus. It's a plus. The difference price wise is only $25 between the two. The PDW also comes with a side folding stock, polymer, not metal. However, the rear section, the rear base plate of the stock, and then folding components are metal. You would push up on the stock to swivel it into position, and then it would lock in place, as shown. So you can kind of see the size difference between the two. Both still have a rear sling mount, and then on your MP5K it would be located here. Same grips, same internal components, both metal gearboxes, both metal receivers, both have the same firing modes, safe, semi, full auto. Other than the stock, the barrel length, and the muzzle brake system, the guns are absolutely identical. So we shot the MP5K A1, the same performance applies for the MP5K PDW with a very slight difference in accuracy, not very noticeable between the two, but a little bit more in the PDW because it has that little bit extra barrel length to it. Overall, both are excellent platforms. They can be taken apart fairly easily to be maintained. Your battery is located in the stock, as we showed you guys earlier. The same applies for the PDW. Remove that stock system. Battery goes through the upper tube here, and you would see the battery when it's inserted through the slot up there by the charging handle. So feel free to like, comment, please subscribe and follow us if you enjoy this video. We'll definitely be having more. These are the first two lines that we're going to be releasing as of now, that we're going to be carrying. We're going to have others coming soon. A lot of JG Works, a lot of other platforms we'll be doing review videos on as soon as we can. So please subscribe, like us, and we will see you next time.